Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene statewide on Your View, Cox Cable, presented by Jimmy's Egg, your neighborhood breakfast place serving delicious food with friendly service. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Logan, welcoming you to our second Oklahoma Sports Scene show with the coaches here. Right next to me is Gil Cloud, the athletic director at Tulsa Public Schools, and the Hall of Fame coach himself, J.V. Haney. Guys, starting with a new sponsor, one of our new corporate sponsors here, title sponsors this week, Jimmy's Egg. We've got a lot of fondness for Jimmy's Egg around here.
Well, we're excited about Jimmy's Egg. We've been there on 3 or 4 of our meetings.
That's right.
We're excited about having Jimmy's Egg, and hopefully we'll have some visitors from Jimmy's Egg today, I think.
We have a special guest from Jimmy's Egg coming in right now to the studio, and of course it is Jimmy himself.
Jimmy.
Jimmy! Jimmy's Egg. How about it, Jimmy? Good to have you with us, buddy. All right. Jimmy's Egg here representing Jimmy's Egg. And I just say this because they have now 58 restaurants in 7 states, more set to open, and 33 in Oklahoma here. And all of us like numbers in sports, so I got some numbers for you. Coach, you're going to love this. All right, here we go. Check this out. They crack, all due respect, Jimmy, and cook over 7.5 million eggs each year.
Oh, my goodness.
More than 700,000 pots of coffee. Open, of course, from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. They won over 30 Best Breakfast Awards. Coach, we can tell that for sure. We had some good ones there.
Absolutely. We've had great breakfast there. And like I said, we've had 3 or 4 of our group meetings at Jimmy's Egg. And they're really, Chris, a great place if you want to go and be in a relaxed atmosphere with great food.
And you know what I like about them as well is how well the people who work there, the way they treat you. They make it better than they treat you at home, don't they? I mean, the way they bring the eggs, they bring the food to you, just fantastic.
Like our wives are going to make us breakfast? Seriously?
No, not going to happen.
Not a chance. Thank goodness for Jimmy's Egg. Jimmy, thank you for joining us today. Great to have you as one of our title sponsors on the Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Bye, Jimmy.
All right, bye. See you, Jimmy. We'll be there in the morning. Don't crack up on the way out. All right, Jimmy of Jimmy's Egg, thanks so much for being here. Hey, that's chicken now on our lineup for our second Oklahoma Sports Scene show. Here's what we have coming up here. Guys, let's talk about, of course, one of our featured guests. We just know it as the kick. That's right, Uwe von Schamann, the great kicker from the University of Oklahoma, where we lived, the 1977 kick, Oklahoma, Ohio State. Guys, people still talk about that one.
What a great kick. You know, I was a kicker in high school and college, and to be in that situation, to mean that much to the university, and then to have the big timeout call and everything. Mr. von Schamann, what a great kick.
And also on our lineup, we call it now the Trojan legend. He's certainly that, J.V. Allan Trimble.
Well, when you talk about Allan Trimble, you got to go back and talk about the number of great coaches that Jenks have had, and he has put all of them in the shadow. One of the most unbelievable, 9 state championships
13.
Is it 13?
Yeah, that's right.
Goodness. Has anyone ever won 13? I doubt it. Can't wait to talk to him.
And we have also our roundtable discussion, some of the hot topics that were going on. First of all, we all need to talk about and recognize the incredible destructive nature of that Hurricane Harvey. And it really was just absolutely devastating to Houston and South Texas.
Great to see a guy like J.J. Watt, who said he was going to raise $100,000, and he's gone over $10 million.
18 million.
18 million, and
amazing.
that's a wonderful thing, I think. And when I think professional athletes give back to their communities like that, it makes it a lot more relevant than some of the things that we read and hear about in the media.
We'll be talking later in more detail about the college and the NFL season. Of course, the college season underway, the NFL season, as we tape on Labor Day. We're coming up starting actually the Thursday night game this week, and then the first big Sunday of the NFL season on the 10th. And U.S. Open tennis is going on right now, guys. Flushing Meadows, New York. They're moving in towards the quarterfinals and stuff. And all we know for sure is there's no American men involved, really.
No, and probably won't be for a while, I would imagine.
You know, last time we had an American win a Grand Slam event 14 years ago, 2003, Andy Roddick.
Has it been that long?
That long. And they say the person to blame is the Williams daddy. He hadn't had 2 daughters. But of course, Serena and Venus is still playing. Serena, of course, on the sideline right now, expecting a child very soon. But U.S. Open tennis is Roger Federer and Nadal kind of dominate the men's, and it's the Williams girls taking care of that. We also have to talk about, guys, money. Floyd, Money, Mayweather, and Conor McGregor, the fight, the exhibition, the whatever it was an event.
That's a promotion.
Yeah. Sure.
They marketed the thing very, very well for quite a while. And if you watch the fight, it really wasn't that bad a fight.
No.
When you look at it, would be like putting a football player in a rugby match. because in the MMA is totally different than legitimate boxing. And so when you put McGregor in the position he was in, there was no kicking. There was no biting and grabbing and all that. That was all out. So I think he showed pretty well because of the rules.
To me, it just boiled down a fighter against a boxer.
Yeah.
And a boxer will whip a fighter every time.
And then there were no losers in the ring because it's estimated it's at a record 700 million pay-per-view audience.
Wow.
And Mayweather, they estimate, took home, at least at this point now, over 200 million. McGregor around 70 million. So not a bad payday for that. And of course, right afterwards, Mayweather said, "I'm retiring." Then he said, "But if somebody wants me to come dance around for another 12 rounds for 300 million, I'll be back."
Well, sure.
Of course,
sure.
Exactly. Hey, coming up next, you won't want to miss it. We've been looking forward to it for some time. Simply called The Kick. Great memories of the 1977 OU Ohio State game. Straight ahead on Oklahoma Sports Scene, presented by Jimmy's Egg.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Thoroughbreds.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Celebrate our great state at the Oklahoma Derby Festival with a hat and bow tie contest, wine tasting, and the $400,000 Oklahoma Derby, September 24th.
We're gonna rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock.
Only at Remington Park.
Welcome to Jimmy's Egg. Come on in.
For more than 30 years, Jimmy's Egg has been starting people's day off right with hot, fresh, made-to-order food. Our eggs are fresh, cracked to order every time, and there are over 40,000 ways to craft your own omelet. With signature favorites like our meat lovers skillet or decadent cinnamon roll pancakes, you won't leave hungry. Breakfast and lunch is available every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so stop in today and let our friendly staff serve you.
Stop by and see us sometime.
Sammy, if you need me, I'll be at lunch.
And if you need me, I'll be in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Cooking up some hot summer deals.
Sammy, take that off. And I already came up with the deals anyway.
Right now, lease a 2017 Civic for $239 a month with 0 down. Or lease a 2017 Accord for just $299 a month with 0 down.
Did I say kitchen? I meant my office.
Oh, I know what you meant.
I need a grill.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene, presented by Jimmy's Egg this week, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. The best breakfast, brunch, and lunch you can find anywhere. They're all over the state of Oklahoma, and in fact, 7 states around the country here now. So glad to have them with us, and especially glad to have with us the star himself. What a week this is going to be for Uwe von Schamann. He is the guy, of course, who hit the famous kick in 1977 that beat Ohio State in the final seconds. Uwe, great to have you with us. Thanks for coming on a holiday all the way from Norman.
Yes.
Can you believe, is it really 40 years?
No, I really don't. Now, I know I haven't aged a bit, but 40 years ago, yeah, it's pretty amazing, and it's bringing back a lot of great memories, and looking forward to going up there.
I know our friends at the Tulsa World are doing a 3-part series this week. As a special, Fox is doing Fox Sports, something, a roundtable you did with Coach Switzer and the guys a year or so ago, right?
Yes, with my holder, Bud Hebert. Of course, he calls it the hold, not the kick. And Bobby Proctor, who recruited me out of high school, was there, and Jerry Pettibone was there too. So we had a really nice visit.
Memories for you, Gil, 1977?
I was my second year at Union as the director of athletics, and I remember sitting in my den watching the game.
Yeah.
No question.
How about you, J.V.?
Yes, I was watching it, and the thing that was going through my mind was, after the timeout, what was going through your mind just before you go up there to get that winning point?
Well, you know, I was just trying to focus on what I always focus on before I kick is just the fundamentals, and going through that and trying to make sure I do that. Of course, then, you know, they called a timeout, and then there was about 2 minutes. I didn't really know what to do. And I remember going into the huddle. I walked over to one of our offensive linemen and shook his hand and told him, "Don't worry about it, I've got it." And then he told me that later. I don't remember doing that. But, you know, I roomed with Bud Hebert.
Right.
The night before we roomed together, and that morning he told me that he had a dream that I was going to win the game. And he told me later on that before I went out to kick, I tapped on the shoulder and said, "I'm going to make your dream come true." Wow. So that's kind of, you know, little side stories that I really don't remember.
Let's set this up, because it really looked like it was going to be a blowout. It started with Oklahoma jumping out to a 20-0 lead as Thomas Lott, Billy Sims, Kenny King, everybody just dominated. Then people started getting hurt, and everything changed.
Absolutely. We had to bring in Dean Blevins.
He made some big plays, though.
He ended up doing very well. We brought in a true freshman, Jay Jemison, and that didn't work out. But the injuries certainly hurt us. Ohio State scored 28 unanswered points. I think we had 6 turnovers, so it was just getting away from us.
There was more than just the kick involved, too, because you mentioned Dean Blevins had to make some big plays. There was also, of course, an onside kick.
Yeah, we don't get the onside kick. And again, before the onside kick, Coach Proctor asked me where I'm going to kick the ball, and I said, I'm going to hit it right to that guy, the second guy from the end. And I just ended up hitting it well. He shouldn't probably have fielded it because I hit it pretty hard. It came off his chest, and Mike Babb recovered the onside kick.
Well, it was incredible, of course, and what everybody remembers is Keith Jackson's famous call of that kick. Of course, he was with Ara Parseghian, the ABC crew, the ABC national telecast. Let's take you back then to September 24th, 1977. Here's ABC Sports' Keith Jackson with the kick.
Age, Mr. Uwe von Schamann, born in Germany, lived most of his life in Fort Worth, Texas. Von Schamann 5 for 5 in field goals. So far this season, the ball will be kicked from the 31-yard line. It will be a 41-yard field goal. He has plenty of leg from that. The ball is toward the right hash mark. The wind is at his back. And here is Uwe von Schamann concentrating. Woody Hayes on the sidelines is hopeless at this point. He can win it right here for Oklahoma. Mark Lucky is the center. Bud Hebert is the holder. And now Ohio State takes a timeout, and I was almost sure that Woody would do it to build the pressure. He's been through the heat. Another interesting thing about this combination of personalities involved here, though, Mark Lucky, number 52, who does the snapping for Oklahoma, is from Rosenberg, Texas. He is a freshman. Our statistician. There's a big 8 country. Big Mike. 41-yard field goal to win it. It is long enough. It is good. Wow. With 3 seconds to play in the game, the Oklahoma team and some of their fans have come onto the field in exultation as von Schamann hit it on the money. Just a few yards away from this exultation, Ohio State players still lying prostrate on the field, pounding the turf in frustration, walking dismally away. And it's 29-28 Oklahoma with 3 seconds to play in the game.
Wow. Oklahomans still remember that, no matter where they were, everybody remembers the kick. Uwe, I mean, as we take a look at some of the replays of that too, you just had so much confidence. Talk about going through that whole thing.
Well, you know, I knew that after the onside kick, we had to get in field goal range, and again, Dean Blevins throws a pass to Steve Rhodes, get us closer, and then we run the ball and just up the middle, Kenny King. So we get us in field goal range, and of course I knew that it was my turn to go in with 6 seconds. We called a timeout to get me ready, so I'm over there just focusing again on the fundamentals, and probably said a little prayer or two, and please God, I hope I make this. I don't want to go back to Germany. And so I'm ready to go, and here Woody Hayes calls timeout, and again I didn't know really what to do, and I did hear the crowd. I never hear the crowd usually, and they were yelling, "Block that kick!" and I don't know why I did it, and I raised my arms and I just led the chant. So, yes, you're right. I had a lot of confidence. You know, you prepare as coaches. You coaches know you prepare for game-type situations all throughout the week. And so as a kicker, you do the same thing. You put yourself in tough positions on the field, different angles. And so I knew I was ready. I was confident. And I guess it showed.
You know, I was listening to a commentary about the Alabama-Florida State game played last night, and the kicking game was really a big part of that, and the breakdowns in the kicking game.
Yeah.
And we know some of the coaches that have won really big games have a good, solid kicking game.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. As a kicker, I always thought that.
Right.
You know, I think there's three phases: offense, defense, and kicking. And if you win two of them, you're going to win the game.
Exactly, and that's. And I'm surprised in high school that we don't focus more on the kicking part. It's being usually it's the last week before the first game. Oh yeah, let's do some kicking. So, and I work with some high school coaches in the past, and I give private lessons, and so the kids are frustrated because they don't get to kick during the game as much as they maybe should. So maybe it hasn't just quite gotten to the high school level as far as the importance it being a third of the game.
Sure.
Do you still get just as excited? I mean, I watched you last night, and when all of this comes around again, and right now, I mean, it just seems like that everything is just coming back. Is that true?
Absolutely, and I talked to my former teammates that played in the game, and we're all excited. I'm going to see a lot of them in Columbus before the game, so we'll have a little reunion in Columbus, and again, Saturday, the game, UTEP game, we had a bunch of guys there from that team, so we're really excited going to Columbus.
Well, I just took a big sigh of relief because I knew I had to host Coach Switzer's show the next morning back in Columbus. He made it a lot easier on me, too. I appreciate that very much. I always think about back to Barry, and he always said, one of the great lines talking about, he really didn't think he needed you, right?
Well, he said that if Billy Sims wouldn't have gotten hurt and Thomas Slott wouldn't have gotten hurt, we would have never needed you. So that's what he said. But I told Coach, you know, the last thing I saw you doing, you were on the sideline on your knees, and you're probably smoking a cigarette.
I was hitting that cigarette.
That's exactly right.
I bet he was.
Right. Oh my God.
What do you think about this year's game?
Well, you know, it's last year's Ohio State team certainly was a great team, a lot of talent. They did lose quite a few players. I think maybe 12 or so went to the draft. So it's hard to see. I didn't get to see the first game they played. I know they struggled a little bit in the first half, but I think and I don't think anybody really knows how good we are.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we played a great game last Saturday and all parts of the game. So. It comes down to field position. It comes down to turnovers. It's the same thing every single game.
We have a lot more to talk about with Uwe von Schamann. For instance, how's the kid get recruited from Berlin, Germany, gets over here to America, to Fort Worth, then the Sooners picked him up, of course, and now he's an Oklahoma absolute legend. In fact, I want to congratulate you. You're Oklahoma's all-time kicker, but the Big 8 Conference named you as their all-century kicker, too.
Thank you.
Well deserved, I might add, too. Well deserved, I might add. We'll hear a lot more from Uwe von Schamann here, and we continue on the Oklahoma Sports Scene, presented again by Jimmy's Egg.
We were trying to think of an impressive commercial to introduce new premium peppered pork belly at Billy Sims Barbecue. Science fiction is popular.
People of Earth, we bring you an out-of-this-world taste sensation, delicious new peppered pork belly at Billy Sims Barbecue.
But that didn't really work, so we'll just say this. Introducing premium peppered pork belly at Billy Sims Barbecue. The most tender cut of pork, slow smoked on site every day for a rich bacony kind of flavor. Only at Billy Sims Barbecue.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
Want to welcome in Journey Fitness, South Tulsa and Bixby's newest health club. Proud to say I'm a member of that, and use a little more exercise there too, I know for sure, but it's a great place. I want to talk about them 24/7 for the members. Great access to it. And to me, it's a professional gym with professional people. They have trainers there that have over 105 years of experience. They take care of strength, rehabilitation, conditioning. They specialize in football training, high-intensity training as well. But I appreciate those. They have programs for us that are in the second half when it comes to conditioning and stuff. They do a great job, though. Really enjoy it. Get out there. It's 111th and Memorial. It's the northwest corner, Journey Fitness. And if you mention the Oklahoma Sports Scene, you'll get a free 7-day-a-week free trial at Journey Fitness 24/7. Get yourself in shape and have a great time, meet some great people. Back now to Oklahoma Sports Scene with Uwe von Schamann. Let's take you back to Germany. Where were you born? How much time did you spend there? And how'd you get over here?
I was born in Berlin in '56, and it was just my mom and I, and we moved around a lot, and we lived in Luxembourg for 5 years as well. And then we came to visit when I was 15. She had a friend in Fort Worth, and we came to visit him, and I went to the local high school just to see what it was like, and I figured out real quick that it was the kids were having a lot more fun over here, and actually on the way home I convinced my mom that to move here, and she got a job 6 months later. So I came to Fort Worth in '72. I was 16 years old, sophomore in high school, and I was a soccer player, as most know, kids over there played soccer. And when my first PE class, we were playing flag football. I'd never seen football before, and so I kicked it, or I punted it, and Coach Cecil Newton, never forget his name, he encouraged me to come out. He asked me again if I could do it again. I kicked it again, and he said, "You're going to be my kicker from now on." So that's how I got started.
Kickers are a little different, aren't they, Coach?
No, they're not.
Yeah. They're kind of like shot putters.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about your recruiting process. How did you become an Oklahoma Sooner?
After my junior year in high school, I could have finished high school because of all the credits that transferred from the German schools.
Right.
But Coach Cecil Newton, again, he said, if you stay another year, you might get a scholarship. And I go, what's a scholarship? And he goes, that's when they actually pay for your school. You play sports, they pay for your school. And I go, you mean to tell me just to kick a football, they're going to do all that? I go, what a country. I love this country. So I stayed another year, and Coach Pettibone from OU came down, and he was actually recruiting one of my teammates. And Coach Cecil Newton, again, he said, you guys need a kicker. And they go, yeah, we'll need one after this next season. And they said, Coach Newton said that, I think we have a pretty good one. And so that's how it got started. And then they offered me a scholarship. Wow. And my teammate went to Texas.
Did you meet him again?
No.
You never?
Never met him again. Yeah.
Let's talk about after OU and after the kick. There's much more to it than that. We mentioned he's the all-century kicker of the Big 8 Conference, and Oklahoma's all-time place kicker as well. But anyway, you went on to a heck of a career in the NFL too, 6 seasons with the Miami Dolphins. Talk about your pro football career.
Well, I didn't really know that I was going to get drafted. Didn't know, back then we had 2 days. Well, I guess they do now too, but we had 12 rounds, and I went to the Senior Bowl, and back then you had to make a transition from kicking off a tee, field goals and extra points, to the ground. So I really didn't have a lot of time to practice for that, so I didn't do that well in the Senior Bowl. But I got drafted in my 7th round by the Dolphins. Coach Shula, the reason he drafted me is because he saw the Ohio State game.
Wow.
And he said that later on. He said he didn't know who I was till he saw that game. And so he drafted me, and I had to go against an all-pro kicker named Garo Yepremian, if you remember his name. And he wasn't real friendly to me, but I ended up, they had me kick the preseason games, all preseason games. Yeah. And the way I found out that last Sunday, that Monday morning when he came in for the last cut, my stuff was still there and his was gone. So that's how I found out I made the team.
540 total points in the NFL, 101 of 149 in field goals. He also 237 of 250 PATs. Made a famous cameo appearance in, is this true, 1984, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective?
That's correct, yes. They used one of my kicks in that movie. So you can call me Ray Finkel if you want.
Give us an update now on your professional life, your family, what's going on with you?
Well, I'm not married, but I have two boys. One's 26. He went to Edmond Santa Fe. He plays professional baseball. He's been in the minor leagues for 6 years. He's a pitcher, starting pitcher. And then I have an 8-year-old. That's a gymnast, and he was an all-around champ last year, and so a baseball player and a gymnast. But my passion in the last 15 years or so has been working at the children's center in Bethany, Children's Center Rehabilitation Hospital. Before that, I was at another hospital, but I'm in communication development. I go around the state, and we have a lot of things going on in our hospital. We're the only hospital of our kind in Oklahoma. Our kids come from either Children's Hospital in Oklahoma City or St. Francis. So we have a close relationship with Tulsa and the foundations. We're getting ready to open a new wing, $22 million that we raised, and thank you, Tulsa, for about 6.5 of that is part of that 22. So it's a very exciting. It's been there since 1898. So a lot of people know about it, but we're the only hospital of a kind. So,
well, anyway, it's great to have you here.
Yes.
Thanks for taking the time to come down, especially if we tape on a holiday on Labor Day. So it's always Norman for that. I know you got a lot of big things planned coming up this week in Columbus, Ohio. Jimmy's Egg wants to be sure you enjoy breakfast or lunch on them. Is your gift card?
That's the only reason I came.
I knew that.
To get one of these.
And you give me a mug too.
And
What
get
the
a
heck?
mug.
Why not?
All
Why
right.
not?
Sounds great.
I know it.
Would you tell
Thank
him
you.
what Switzer told you when you text him about coming to be on the show?
Oh yeah, I was pretty on the first show.
Yeah.
Coach, can you make it on the first show? And I never heard from him. About 3 in the morning, my phone dinged, and I looked at the text. Lincoln, I'm in Italy. You're not worth coming home for.
Right.
we'll get Switzer on someday. I promise you that for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, of course, we leave this section with Uwe von Schamann. And one more time, let's listen to Keith Jackson describe the kick. Right back on Sportscene with Jimmy Zay right after this.
41-yard field goal to win it. It is long enough. It is good. Wow. With 3 seconds to play in the game, the Oklahoma team and some of their fans have come onto the field in exultation as von Schamann hit it on the money.
Celebrate your home today at Bowen's Discount Carpet for our Shop and Compare sale. Take advantage of our guaranteed lowest prices you can find, great deals on new Shaw floors, and a huge variety of brands and colors that you will have to see to believe. Let Shaw Floors spice up your space, along with 36 years of experience, and the beauty of your floors will shine. Come out to Bowen's, where we refuse to be undersold.
I'd like to visit with you about the Greater Tulsa Reporter. If you haven't had an opportunity to read the Greater Tulsa Reporter, Forrest Cameron does an excellent job. And you might see this picture in here of Chris Lincoln, myself, and Gil Cloud, in which Terrell Lester wrote. And you can find articles of this nature in the Greater Tulsa Reporter anytime you pick up one. And they come out once a month. So the next time you see it, pick it up and read it.
Broadcasting legend. You see that headline? My wife was so impressed with the article, she said she may keep that for my obituary, Gil.
Easy. Terrell has done a lot of obituary.
Perfect for me. That's perfect. Hey, guys, we've really added a bunch of new sponsors. I want to recognize them. Obviously, Jimmy's Egg is our title sponsor for this week's show. We mentioned the Neighborhood Breakfast Place, also brunch and lunch, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're known for their friendly service. Coach, we're excited about some other ones who've joined us now on the team. How about the Don Carlton Honda? That goes back a long ways here in town.
Don Carlton goes back a long time. Matter of fact, my daughter's first car, that's where we're going to buy you one car. You want a new one or whatever.
Right.
And we bought her a car when they were down on 11th Street. I'll never, ever forget that, because they were giving away mink coats if you bought a car, and or you could get a fitness club. And so my wife and I went in there. We had 4 fitness clubs and 2 meat coats.
Also, of course, Don Carlton's been serving this area for more than 40 years. Take care of all your Don Carlton Honda needs. And Sammy Kaloff, Brenda Carlton, great people down there. Remington Park, one of our favorites, JV. We spent a lot of time at the racetrack, and they're going to be one of our sponsors. In fact, they'll be a guest on our show, next show in 2 weeks, talking about the Oklahoma Derby. Remington Park, great place.
Well, it's a great place to go, and you just really enjoy it because they're so nice to you down there. Now, sometimes I don't win, but it's always a great place to go, Remington Park.
Billy Sims Barbecue's joined us, and I tell you, I don't think people have any idea. Former Heisman Trophy winner, 1978 of Oklahoma, teaming with Jeff Jackson and their company there. Just check with Jeff today, guys. Listen to this. Billy Sims Barbecue is now in 6 states, 57 restaurants, 22 across the state of Oklahoma.
And a great, great product. There's no question.
Yep.
When I have people come into town, that's one of the places we suggest we go to.
And one of your favorites out in Claremore, and what a job they've done. The fastest growing regional university, Rogers State University, home of the Hillcats.
Yeah, Rogers State has come a long way from being an Oklahoma military institute, and then a junior college, and then a 4-year school, and now a 4-year Division II school.
And of course, we talked about Journey Fitness, my gym there in South Tulsa, at 111th and Memorial, the northwest corner there. 24/7 access to the members, all your needs there for the fitness center. Get out and get a workout. And just mentioned Oklahoma Sports Scene, you'll get a free 7-day workout trial. And of course, I want to also tell you, this is all thanks to Josh Stokes, our incredible producer, production team. Hey, we're on social media, guys. We're like on the web and cool stuff like that. So I got to read this. Now you can follow us on Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
Are you really?
I
Are
am.
you on?
I have 2 Facebook accounts.
Becky's my Facebook person, so I know. Facebook and Twitter, though, it's at OK Sports Scene. And that's on Facebook and Twitter. And later we'll tell you how you can watch our show anywhere in the nation or around the world on YouTube, right?
My daughter watched in Dallas last night, watched last week's show last night.
My little grandson Lincoln told me, Papa, Wi-Fi is not a question. So I'm trying to learn all these things too. But anyway, we're glad to be on the social media there, and hope you join us on Oklahoma Sports. All right, guys, we finished the first week of college football. Some dramatic games, some dramatic moments. What kind of stuck out to you in that first week of college football? Gil, start with you.
Well, I think the upsets, Chris.
Yeah.
I think that it's just incredible. Baylor losing to Liberty. How in the world does that happen?
My gosh.
UNLV losing to Howard University. And they paid Howard $600,000 to come to Las Vegas to beat them.
Wow.
And then the Texas A&M game.
How about the state of Texas? Texas A&M, Baylor. I mean, got wiped out the first week.
I think Texas Tech and TCU are the 2 that won this past week.
JV, how about for you?
Well, this is what always amazes me, is it seems like that the big schools always schedule someone that they could just overpower, like Oklahoma did El Paso. I mean, we knew what was going to happen there. But this year, the upsets maybe will change some of the attitude of scheduling for next year.
We had some surprises, but also kind of ones we expected. Oklahoma State, we thought they'd dominate and show that offense of theirs. That is a dynamic offense, Coach, the Cowboys have.
I don't think there's any question.
Wow.
Mason Rudolph is an outstanding quarterback. He's going to be drafted. Yeah. There's no question. But I'm going to tell you, Chris, when you look at their receiving core, where is their weakness?
Wow.
There's not one. I mean, they got Washington coming back, who was a premier receiver last year. They get the transfer in, who makes 2 great catches. But I'm going to tell you, it's amazing what they have offensively to deal with there.
JV, you were impressed, though, with the Tulsa quarterback.
I really was. I thought President did a great job when he came in. And the fact that had they not given up those 2 early touchdowns, of course, what Gil was saying there, OSU is very good. But I think Tulsa is better than a lot of people thought. And I would hope that people would get out and support them because I think they're going to be fun to watch.
Arkansas rolled over Florida A&M, I should say, 49-7. Of course, you saw what OU did, and I guess the big thing about that game, I mean, I don't care who you're playing against. 19-20 for Baker Mayfield, and he played a half.
Unbelievable. The accuracy he has and the receivers he has. They have some folks that can catch the football. So I think the Bedlam game is going to be incredible this year.
And without question, the feel-good story of the first college football weekend had to be USC's long snapper, Jake Olson. Blind since the age of 12. They brought him out on the field to be the long snapper for the final point after at the USC game against Western Kentucky, and he did it perfectly. Great story, great way to wrap up the first weekend of college football. And we'll be back with much more, including a look ahead at the big high school football game in the state of Oklahoma. To talk about that, you're talking about, of course, Union Jenks with the legendary coach of the Trojans, Allan Trimble, straight ahead on the Jimmy's Egg Oklahoma Sports Scene. Stay right with us.
D'Angelo Brewer, Central High School, Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's cool to think about the fact that I grew up in this city. I was born here, I've played football here my whole life, and my family is here. I grew up in the shadows of the stadium, and now I play in front of the city of Tulsa every Saturday. I don't think people outside of this city truly appreciate Tulsa. It's like we're hidden here in Oklahoma. That's why I love playing here. I'm playing for Tulsa, and I'm putting our city on the map.
Welcome to Jimmy's Egg. Come on in.
For more than 30 years, Jimmy's Egg has been starting people's day off right with hot, fresh, made-to-order food. Our eggs are fresh, cracked to order every time, and there are over 40,000 ways to craft your own omelet. With signature favorites like our meat lover skillet or decadent cinnamon roll pancakes, it won't leave hungry. Breakfast and lunch is available every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so stop in today and let our friendly staff serve you.
Stop by and see us sometime.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Thoroughbreds.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight.
Celebrate our great state at the Oklahoma Derby Festival with a hat and bow tie contest, wine tasting, and the $400,000 Oklahoma Derby, September 24th.
We're gonna rock, rock, rock till broad daylight. Gonna rock around the clock.
Only at Remington Park.
Back on Oklahoma Sports Scene, presented by Jimmy's Egg this week, and really glad to have with us the head football coach, legendary coach himself, Allan Trimble of Jenks High School here in Tulsa, and of course getting ready for the big Jenks Union Mid-First Backyard Bowl coming up on Thursday night. Coach, congratulations on a fabulous career, and just some of the numbers of state. We were trying to remember how many state championships. Finally, 13 state championships in Oklahoma's biggest 6A1 class. Coach, 22 years, the head coach of the Trojans. Not a bad record. 235 wins, just 38 losses, average 11.2 wins a season. And Coach, he's been one of our icons.
There's no question in high school coaching, Allan, that you've set the standard. And I think on this side of the state, there's been a standard set that I think the entire state likes to look toward.
Well, thank you. It's been a wonderful ride. Been a great career. Just entered my 22nd year. It's hard to believe it's flown by since 1996, and you know, a lot of really good people, a lot of really good coaches, players, and administrators, community. A lot of things have gone into that career. 13
state titles you mentioned here, including a string. This is amazing to me, though. Remarkable 6 consecutive titles, 1996 to 2001 for Jenks. Another 4 in a row, 2001 to 2015. He's the Tulsa World Oklahoma High School Coach of the Year 4 times. 72 of his players have been named first team all-state selections. Nearly 20 of his assistant coaches gone on to be head coaches. I don't know, Coach, that must be what you're most proud of, turning these high school kids into real student athletes and men, and of course, these assistant coaches going on to their own careers.
Well, like I mentioned, we've had just a great deal of, you know, just wonderful players. I mean, it'd be hard to list them all, but, you know, in the same way with my coaching tree, you know, I really never took any formal training on how to hire a guy. You know, I'm not really into human resources or personnel, but always just wanted to get aspiring guys who were driven, who wanted to be, you know, who wanted to earn more responsibility and who were really good about mentoring kids. And it turns out that they did all right.
And you did too. Okay.
You know, the thing that really gets me about Jenks and Allan is the fact that with my background in coaching, to be able to start your kids at a very young age, and as they come up, when they get into high school, they really know what's going on and they know what the coach expects. You've done that at Jenks in the most remarkable way. And my goodness, I think they start in the 2nd grade. But when they get to be senior, well, when they get to be freshman and sophomore, they really know what's going on.
Oh yeah, and you know, Coach Lancaster started that. He was very, I thought, in tune with the youth program. And in fact, we used to have 2 youth clubs when Coach Lancaster was there, and he was the one who kind of talked them into going into one to create a little bit more unity. And maybe we furthered that a little bit, but our kids grow up in the system. They're excited. They all wear maroon and white. They're all called Trojans. And I think they grow up waiting their turn to get in there and try to play for the big guys. And that tradition and that pride that I think they develop as younger kids really pays off when they get there.
Gil, from an administrative standpoint, and no one appreciates this more than you and Coach Trimble here, the game has changed a lot in the last few years.
Well, the game has changed. I can remember when I was at Union, I started in '76, and Red Rogers was the football coach and athletic director at Jenks. And a quick story about that, Red had called me in the spring of '77 and said, we need to play. The Union was growing. Jenks was a little bit ahead of us in growth. And I said, that's fine. And so we went through the districting, and we were an independent. We had no conference, and that was back in the 4-team district day. So I had to find 7 games. So it was tough. Well, Red doesn't call, he doesn't call. I schedule somebody else. Well, of course, our superintendent, Dr. Jarman, and Bob Sharp were brother-in-laws. And so he goes to Bob Sharp. Bob Sharp calls Wesley Jarman. Jarman comes down to my office and said, "What is going on?" And I said, "I had to schedule a game." He said, "Okay." Well, Red wouldn't talk to me for 2 years. And then finally, we were just cool after that. He goes to Broken Arrow as a director of athletics. And so we're 6A, they're 6A. I call him up and I said, "Red, we need to form the Frontier Conference. We need to put this conference together, and we need to play you." And he said, "Well, you're right. Let's visit." And from there, I think the programs on this side of the state really looked at themselves a little bit differently. I think the greatest difference that we have now, and I know Allan knows this, is the schools on this side of the state have made a decision they're not going to split.
Right.
And the schools on the other side of the state have. And so the size of the schools, and I think the dominance because of the number of student athletes that are available, make it a real excellent. Every Friday night there's a big game somewhere.
And the quality of play in the state of Oklahoma high school football, Allan, is incredible.
It is, and many of us have ventured out to Texas and Arkansas and other places, and at times have done very, very well. I know both Broken Arrow and Union. I think Broken Arrow played Southlake very close this last weekend, and Union, beat Trinity. Trinity handily, which is not that easy to do.
Amazing. And again, we talk about some of the changes in athletics and stuff, and the pressure being put on athletics, again, by what all the schools are feeling, the budget crunch.
Yeah, and the good news is, in many cases, football is still that last frontier that can operate and survive on its own through the support of tickets and different things like that. But I tell you, in Oklahoma especially, it's just it's very challenging. There's not a lot of money in the coffers, and they're looking for ways to cut budgets and things, and it's going to make it very challenging for a lot of programs to hang in there.
Before we look ahead to Union Jenks, let's talk about your 2017 team. And I had some notes here that you're dealing with the smallest senior class you've ever had, 8 who play, only 3 have any experience starting this season. Really very young football team.
Very, very young, not only in class but also in experience. We returned the majority of our experienced guys back on defense. We've got some good guys up front that are playing really well. Mitchell Culkin returns to be a 2-year starter at linebacker. He's doing a great job. So the bulk of our experience is defensively. Offensively, we graduated our entire crew of receivers, a great tight end, a couple of offensive linemen. So we're very, very young, and it has shown so far. We've made some strides, played a little bit better against Bigsby, but again, still plenty to do.
The thing that stands out now that Allan's name is on the stadium.
Yeah, how about that, Coach? Was that as big a surprise to you? You were just...
they did a great job, Chris, keeping that a secret for a long time. And again, I'm not very good, at taking comments and talking about myself and all that, but I will tell you, it was a very humbling and just a great experience that Dr. Butterfield and Jenks Public Schools did for me.
There's no question, Gil, he's earned it.
Well, there's no question, and with the continued success over the number of years and repeated success, it was well-deserved, and I think something that will live on for a long, long time.
Well, Union Jenks, of course, it is always the game. The state of Oklahoma certainly recognized as one of the nation's outstanding high school football rivalries. And it comes up on a Thursday night this week here in Tulsa. We'll be talking more with the coach here about the big game, the Mid-First Bowl, the Backyard Bowl, brought to you by Mid-First Bank. When we come back, it's Union Jenks on Jimmy Zaig's Oklahoma Sports Scene, so stay with us.
Sammy, if you need me, I'll be at lunch.
And if you need me, I'll be in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Cooking up some hot summer deals.
Sammy, take that off. And I already came up with the deals anyway.
Right now, lease a 2017 Civic for $239 a month with 0 down. Or lease a 2017 Accord for just $299 a month with 0 down.
Did I say kitchen? I meant my office.
Oh, I know what you meant.
I need a grill.
We were trying to think of an impressive commercial to introduce new premium peppered pork belly at Billy Sims Barbecue. Science fiction is popular.
People of Earth, we bring you an out-of-this-world taste sensation, delicious new peppered pork belly at Billy Sims Barbecue.
But that didn't really work, so we'll just say this. Introducing premium peppered pork belly at Billy Sims Barbecue. The most tender cut of pork, slow smoked on site every day for a rich bacony kind of flavor. Only at Billy Sims Barbecue.
And a reminder, our Oklahoma Sports Scene, presented this week by Jimmy Zaig, is replayed statewide on UView and Cox, Sunday at 2 and at 9 p.m., and Monday at 6 p.m. And you can watch anytime, anywhere in the nation, in fact, anywhere in the world, on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/OK Sports Scene. Anywhere in the world, anytime. Amazing technology. Now we're ready for the big one. It's the Mid-First Backyard Bowl. It is the game between, of course, the Jenks Trojans and the Union Redskins. And, Coach, they've just been a bit dominant in the state of Oklahoma. What's it go to? How many years now?
Well, 21 years.
Consecutive.
The state championship has either been on Mingo or over on B Street.
That's right, yeah. Amazing record, Coach. It's 1996, either the Redskins or the Trojans.
And I don't know. We've said all along since we started playing each other. We were in the same district for the longest time, so it was just a blood feud. But now that we're not, but I think both programs have really helped to elevate each other. It's always kind of been an arms race, and what one gets, the other one wants, and vice versa. And the level of competition. Both teams have been solid, and when you go out there to play them, you have to be at your very best. I think it's made us better.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of times that I remember some of those games out there where it looked like one team was defeated, and then suddenly, with the last minute, here goes, you had one just recently.
Oh, Coach Haney, I tell you, as Lou Holtz says, it was a great game for the crowd, but it was rough on the coaches.
Yes.
And it is always that way. You never know. I think it was 2000 or 2001. We were behind by 17 twice in that game and ended up coming back on, the last play of the game to win. And, the fans love that. But, man, for Coach Trimble, it's a rough one when it's like that. But it's always been exciting.
Well, in the next 2 weeks, we've got some big high school football games coming up. I'm going to put up on the screen here, Gil, to kind of talk about some of the big games coming up. Also on YourView and Cox, I want to remind you the Ford Game of the Week. We'll, of course, be spotlighting the big Mid-First Bowl, Backyard Bowl. Thursday night at 7:05, September 7th, it's Union versus Jenks. Friday night, September 8th, it's Choctaw at Sand Springs. Then the following week, again on Cox 1033 statewide, high school football, September 14th, Norman at Moore, Edmond Santa Fe at Norman North. And real quick about Norman North, I understand Coach Stoops' son had a heck of a first game, right?
Oh yes, and they're for real. Norman North is a for real football team. There's no question about that.
His son Drake had a reception of more than 200 yards, I think, and 3 or 4 touchdowns. So Bob Stoops better recruit that young man to stay in the state of Oklahoma. All right, let's focus now on Union Jenks. Your impressions of the Union Redskins, only the defending state champions and #1 ranked team in the state.
Well, we caught them last year in the semifinals, and they were playing very, very well. We weren't able to beat them, and then they went on and defeated a great Norman North school. And they return a lot of guys.
Right.
But, a defensive tackle that's committed to the University of Oklahoma that's just a fabulous player and is surrounded by great speed. Offensively, they've got a fabulous set of receivers and skill guys. But really what makes them click, being an old offensive line coach, they can run the ball. They get behind those big linemen. So you don't look at their film and say, oh, you know what, we need to attack that guy. They don't really have a lot of weaknesses. Coach Fred has really got them playing well.
And J.V., it's remarkable how this is not only statewide rivalry, but the nation knows about Union Jenks.
Well, when you take what has happened between those two schools since Allan took over has been remarkable. And that is why that it is of interest wherever you go. I mean, people come here and then they move, say, to Chicago when they want to keep up with the game. It just happened that way.
I remember 2007 as a part of the Great American Rivalry high school series and nationally televised. ESPN's been here several times, done features and stuff. They said they go back to drawing crowds of, well, what's some of the biggest crowds you remember? And of course, we play it at the University of Tulsa's Chapman Stadium now.
Well, I can't remember what year it was, but Benny Dixon it was Union's first home game, and we hosted it at Skelly. But 40,000, I couldn't get over it. It took my breath away when we walked out.
Wow.
40,000.
40,000 high school football.
Yeah, and we broadcasted, Don King and I broadcast that game, and that was unbelievable.
It was an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
Coach, has meant so much to the community as well as the state, a rivalry like this and the kind of recognition it brings high school football.
I think, as Allan said earlier, it raises the bar for high school football, and everybody knows that we want to get to that level. And I think it's good for the state. I think it's good for all of the football teams in the state of Oklahoma because they look at that game as being a big game, and they want to really get to that level with their games.
Allan, we can't let you get away without all of us telling everybody the heart pouring out to you and all what you've gone through with the diagnosis of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease and stuff, and kind of give us an update and the prognosis. And we know the prognosis, but what you're going through and how your family's holding up.
You know what, we're doing okay. The disease continues to progress a little bit, Chris. It's a mean one. It has all these little friendly reminders that it's still around. But we're blessed. We're surrounded by amazing family and friends, and I'm enjoying what I do still, and we're going to keep on keeping on.
Trimble Strong Foundation. Talk about your foundation.
Well, we're fixing to launch that. We did a fundraiser last summer, and we have some friends that are currently structuring a foundation that's going to, we hope, provide some scholarships for some outstanding young leaders that are looking forward to making a difference when they head to college, and also looking forward to maybe sponsoring some people who are interested in adoption. So that's going to be announced here really quick, actually.
Well, from your Trimble Strong Foundation website, I was struck by this from 1 Corinthians 16, 13, 14. Be on guard. Stand firm in the faith. Be courageous. Be strong. And do everything with love. Coach Trimble, wish you all the very best, and know your thoughts and prayers for all of us and all through Oklahoma are with you and your family.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
And good luck against Union.
Thank you. We'll take all that we can get.
Okay. Again, it's the Mid-First Backyard Bowl. Jenks and Union coming up this Thursday as we talk to you. Of course, we'll be taping on our show on the 4th. But get ready to watch one of the great football games anywhere in high school football, anywhere in the country. Allan Trimble again, thanks for being with us. Good luck, Coach. Back with more on our Oklahoma sports scene. We have some parting shots. Have some fun with that when we get back.
Welcome to Jimmy's Egg. Come on in.
For more than 30 years, Jimmy's Egg has been starting people's day off right with hot, fresh, made-to-order food. Our eggs are fresh, cracked to order every time, and there are over 40,000 ways to craft your own omelet. With signature favorites like our meat lovers skillet or decadent cinnamon roll pancakes, you won't leave hungry. Breakfast and lunch is available every day from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so stop in today and let our friendly staff serve you.
Stop by and see us sometime.
Sammy, if you need me, I'll be at lunch.
And if you need me, I'll be in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
Cooking up some hot summer deals.
Sammy, take that off. And I already came up with the deals anyway.
Right now, lease a 2017 Civic for $239 a month with 0 down. Or lease a 2017 Accord for just $299 a month with 0 down.
Did I say kitchen? I meant my office.
Oh, I know what you meant.
I need a grill.
forces a turnover. In front of Chance. Back in and they score!
Welcome back on Jimmy's Egg Oklahoma Sports Scene. And I did not forget, we gave Coach Trimble his Jimmy's Egg gift cards. Again, Coach Trimble, thanks for joining us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Well, college football, of course, the Oklahoma State Cowboys are on the road. Friday game, they'll play at South Alabama. The Oklahoma Sooners, of course, it's the game of the week at Ohio State. It's a live national telecast on ABC, 6:30 Central Time. The big games coming up. And this, of course, is also the first week of the National Football League. They'll kick things off on Thursday, the Chiefs at the Patriots. And on Sunday the 10th, that's the NFL season really gets underway. The Giants and the Cowboys, one of the big games of the weekend, along with the Eagles and the Redskins. Seattle and Green Bay, the Monday Night Football game, New Orleans and Green Bay. All right, guys, it's time for parting shots. Coach Cloud, lead us off.
My parting shot is to our Rogers State University by doing something that they should have done a long time ago, but with a new president, Dr. Larry Rice, and their new AD, Cliff Radcliffe. They joined the Lone Star Conference along with Oklahoma Christian University. The Lone Star Conference now has 19 members. It's the largest Division II conference in the NCAA, and I think that will enhance their program. Obviously, it will help our schools in the state, and for having that far-reaching, forward thinking to be able to go into that conference, that is a tremendous move for RSU.
J.V. Haney, you're up with your parting shot.
Well, my parting shot is talking about supporting the University of Tulsa football team this coming Saturday at 3 o'clock when they take on Louisiana. Now, coming off the loss to OSU, so many people feel like that they're not going to be very good. They are going to be good. Coach Phil Montgomery doing an excellent job, and we'd like to encourage everyone to go out Saturday afternoon and support the Golden Hurricane, get them back on the winning track.
All right, Coach, and I want to talk about this incredible, all of a sudden, recruiting of not just high school prospects, but kids. I mean, kids are being recruited now in major college football programs. Seeing it all through the social media parts of it. Major college football programs going after kids. How about this? The University of Nevada offered a young man who's 9 years old a chance to have a football scholarship. A 10-year-old fourth grader named Bunce Young was offered by the University of Illinois. University of Hawaii is going after a quarterback named Titan Lackad. The only thing is he won't graduate high school until 2025. Lane Kiffin, you all know about Lane Kiffin, he's offered several kids, an 8th grader, and now he's offered a 7th grader. Well, the NCAA bylaws, the good news is, they forbid coaches from extending written offers for scholarships until the student's senior year. The only way probably to stop this is to say, make that a binding offer, Coach, and maybe you'll leave the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders alone. Coach, your thought on this?
That's been out there for a long time, Chris, and it's something that I think is overblown, and it has really hurt, I think, youth sports, because there's so much emphasis now on the AAU, the travel teams, and all the different sports. It puts a lot of pressures on young kids. They've got to be out there, and they're traveling to Los Angeles one week and Miami the next week for exposure. They know where the players are. That's not a problem.
I want to congratulate the Tulsa Drillers. They have clinched their second half title and they're going to the playoffs of the Texas League. Also, the Tulsa Roughnecks, they look like they're headed for the playoffs as well. And also want to congratulate the Tulsa Oilers. They're getting ready for their big hockey season, October 13th, when they drop the puck at home for the first time. Remember, September 9th, coming up, a reminder, they have their open house at the BOK Center for you hockey fans. And coming up next for us on our Oklahoma Sports Scene show, be sure to join us as we'll have Thunder Up. Brian Davis, the voice of the Oklahoma City Thunder, will be our special guest to preview the Thunder season and the big preseason game coming up in Tulsa. We'll also have They're Off. It's Remington Park, and Dale Day, their media coordinator and the voice of Remington Park Racing. He'll be here to talk about thoroughbred racing in the state, and of course the rich Oklahoma Derby. That's coming up on the 24th of this month. That wraps it for this one. Thanks for joining us on Oklahoma Sports Scene, presented by Jimmy's Egg. Across the state of Oklahoma. Thanks for joining us. So long, everyone.